I think you need your goaltender to win you a game every series. And he did that tonight. He built from it because I don't think it was easy at the start for him. Certainly, the way we played in front of him in the first 10 minutes was challenging. And then he built, and then you get behind the bench some nights and you get a feel for your goaltender going, man, he's not getting beat again. And that's what he gave our team.
What did you sense from your group in the first intermission? Obviously, you couldn't have asked for a better start coming out of the locker room. What was the mood? What did you say to them?
Nothing funny. I had my mic on from that quest for the cup, so my language was no good. We talked about the idea that you don't get to own every game, right? The first 10, twice shorthanded, that was theirs. That was their push. The Lundell goal was huge in this game because at that point you're going, this could be 12-0, right? Like they're on us. That goal's big. And then a real strong push there in that middle part for that. And then we just settled, okay. So they're going to be good. They're going to get their chances. They're going to make their plays. They're rolling tonight. Let's just stay in the fight. Like, for me, it's perspective. That's 5 games and 9 nights of as intense emotional pressure you can put on a hockey team. And we're not, this isn't the Jersey Rangers series where the home teams are 11 miles apart. We've been on an airplane for a while. And we didn't think we had much in our legs tonight, so it was just about character, and it was just about fighting through it and battling the hard things that happen. And some of that's self-inflicted, right? Like we beat it up a little bit, and we got above it a couple of times, and we missed some routes and missed some checks, and it wasn't a perfect game for us by any means. But didn't expect that from my team. Didn't expect them to be perfect tonight. Just want them to stay in the fight. And that's what they did.
Paul, as you alluded to, there's obviously extenuating circumstances, a lot of games, short period of time, all of that. But to come up here, take 2, and go back home up 2-0, could you guys have asked for a better start to this series?
No, but it's in some ways inconsequential. Because the originating idea is, let's do everything we possibly can to create a Game 7. So all we've done now is pretty sure there could be a Game 6. And that's it. Just leave it, because in each game, it's one shot, right? It's just inside the bar. It's they had so many good shit. But last game, even let's just call it even. Last game, it's 2 inches, 15 times a game, inside the post, outside the post, off the goalie's blocker. Like we had a run of about 4 or 5 chances in a shift and a half there when the stall line came out second, and none of those went. And they get an incredible slot shot 3 minutes later.
Coach, you talked about the Lundell line a lot last couple of days. Luosterainen's probably the guy that doesn't get as much attention.
Correct.
How in the first goal, the forecheck, the big hit in the corner, just how big of his game been for that specific line with Lundy and Rhino?
It's really pushed that line to a different place. But I will say to you that that's true of each time I've moved him to a different line. So this is our 4th line center from last year, but he's played left wing with Barkov. He's played left wing with Bennett, and now with Lundell. Wherever we put Lundy, we love the line. There's just the battle puck out there at the end of the game on his side. He's so strong. He's young too. He's still learning. Kills penalties for us. He does have hands. He can make plays. There's a time in his career where he is going on the power play. For me, it's just measuring out minutes now more than why he's not on there right now. He just makes the people around him better. He's one of those guys.
Paul, over here, Sheldon Keefe was asked about Sam Bennett's cross-check penalty on Bunting, and he said to him it looks similar to the cross-check from Austin Matthews. I got Matthews a 2-game suspension in the outdoor game. And can I also ask you if you saw and what your view is on the play with Sam Bennett and Matthew Nyes?
I didn't see the outdoor game. I know that will shock you that you wouldn't all be focused on the Leafs games. We probably had a pre-scout for those pesky Florida Panthers. So I can't comment on that. Everybody seemed to survive that, the tangle up behind the net. I think we've been on the other side of the ledger enough.
Paul, you talked
You're going to do it, aren't you, Kenny? Go ahead, man.
Wow. No, I was just going to ask you, you talked about what a grind it's been, and
Yeah.
I'm wondering
All right.
how you can get your team to forecheck as relentlessly as it did and play as physical and keep up that pace when, as you talked
Yeah.
about, it's been a grind.
So 2 days is going to be good for us, right? So we had a 2-day block after Game 4 in the Boston series, and we needed it. The first 4 games of that Boston series are twice as physical as what we've played here, truly, and both ways. We didn't. It was even in physicality. I think the hit number in Game 1 was 87. You know how you go to different buildings and you kind of look at those numbers and you know what I'm saying? It was legitimate. It was as heavy a first game I've ever seen and straight through the first 4. So we needed those 2 days. I think more than physical, it's the emotional. It's not even toll, but what we had to spend to get to tonight in the last 5 games, we need that rest. So it's also, you know, the counters that Toronto does, and Ehlers picks it up, Marner or Matthews, and they come back through the neutral zone. It's not as easy to stop as you think. Our forecheck isn't either. It's what we're built to do. We have these kind of players. We're really good at this. They have those kind of players that are amazing at it, right? I think the best counter team in the league. So we each have our strengths. For a forechecking team, a little bit of rest helps. That's why we haven't skated on our off days. We have a whole performance group of people. We hired a guy from Australia. We bring all these guys in. Like, we need to keep this team fresh if we can. And thank you, Ken.
Paul, obviously the rest is important. What does this mean for this team to, like you said, been on the road a long time, to finally be going back home, especially with how the atmosphere was last round?
It's great. Like, we were talking about it this morning. The coaches were at breakfast. It was the first time it felt like a road trip, right? The other ones didn't. We're wired. You're all fired up, and then today felt like a road trip. So we need that rest. We needed the mental and physical rest. Get back home in front of our fans, and then you bang one off the bar. You get the crowd to go nuts for you. Didn't have a whole lot of that in here tonight, and didn't expect it. So it'll be good for us. All right then.